Throughout history, Iceland has displayed an immense tradition of witchcraft. Within the horrifically oppressive landscape, magic was not just on the fringes of society. It was a tool for everyday survival. This tradition persisted through Christianization in ways unseen across most of the developed world. Events that should have stamped out paganism entirely only seemed to galvanize Icelanders' conviction in their native culture. Today, pagan tradition lingers in Iceland in ways both mundane and tremendously significant. As a result, we now have access to the contents of spellbooks, the names of famous sorcerers, and the step-by-step procedures of medieval Icelandic magic. From its earliest inhabitants' blood sacrifices and the contents of medieval spellbooks to the surprising presence of pagan tradition in modern-day Iceland. The subject is dark, esoteric, and at times bizarre. But at the end of it, we can take away a tremendous lesson about how we look at history.
Okay, sorry. Why Iceland? Well, I believe that this is a story that the Lord began to write 30 years ago. We were stationed in Iceland in 1993 for 3 years, and during that time, I believe that the Lord just began to leave fingerprints on my life to call me back to the island once He was ready to start the next chapter of my story. So the whole concept of going back to Iceland is all about the people. And so I had this very poignant moment. One time we were off base and we were going around to different areas, touring, different landscapes. And then we went to this one church in the center of Reykjavik, which is the capital. And I remember as a 10-year-old walking into this church and just, being so overwhelmed by just the magnitude of the architecture, but then also being so overwhelmed as a child of just the coldness of the church. And I think that's what the Lord has brought back to my heart, is that there is such a need in Iceland for gospel exposure and really just to be, just to experience the Lord's love and what that feels, from a coldness to a overwhelming warmth. And so that's probably why it's Iceland. I don't know, the land of fire and ice. It wasn't until March of 2017 that the Lord gave me a dream. And in this dream, it was a beautiful landscape, just picturesque, of a valley kind of sandwiched between these two mountains. And what I remember so vividly in the dream was that there was a moment of where all of creation was catching the spirit of revival. And I was seeing this vision in this dream from like a bird's eye view. And all I could see was people in this valley. And it was Iceland. I knew it was Iceland. And so that was March of 2017. And then fast forward to February 8th of 2020, the Lord just, during some intimacy, quiet time one night, He just whispered to my heart, it's time to go back. And He said, Iceland. And as He's done so many times before in my life, He's just specifically said, prepare and go. And so it was at that moment that I said, okay, Lord, if this is what You're calling me to, I'm going to prepare and go. There is so much work that's got to be done. And the fact that other people are moved to be a part of this just gives me such encouragement that I'm not going alone. I'm going with the Lord, and I'm going with everyone that is a part of this story. Hi, I'm Teresa, and this is just the beginning.